Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. So we have this EZA right here. So this is TEQ Future Gohan, finally got his EZA, and then AGL, Trunks, and Mai got their EZA. Now AGL, TEQ Future Gohan, I mean eventually he was going to get his EZA in some fashion. But Trunks and Mai is interesting because this is the first Dokkan Fest LR, like, sub-character that's getting their EZA. So now we know that, any character that awakens from Dokkan Fest LR medals. So, Cell Jr., the physical Gohan from the second Broly movie, Bardock and Guinea, the Krillin from the Tournament of Power, I guess Gohan and Piccolo, and Frieza and Gohan. Right, the Golden Frieza and Ultimate Gohan. Like, all those types of characters, they're going to be getting their own EZAs or packaged in some fashion. Alright, so this is called the Future Saga EZA right here. Okay, sure. Alright, so the weakness for this is actually Future Saga. And specifically, we want to use non-STR characters, although I am using Carnival LR Future Gohan for the 200% leader skill, of course. And then we also don't want to use Super AGL. So, the boss, the Trunks and Mai, they have 80% damage reduction against Super and Extreme STR, and then Super AGL. So, we just want to avoid all of those types of characters. Future is a really, really strong category at this point. I don't really think that players are going to have difficulties with this, right? Like, there's a lot of strong characters that you can bring into this category. Like, just looking at it, like, there's a decent amount of characters, I think, who can really do good here. I imagine that this EZA, this is probably going to be one of those EZAs that's going to be super easy to just get to, like, stage 999, like, probably almost, like, very casually. I just don't think that there would be any struggles. These types of EZAs typically are not very hard at all, right? It's like Dokkan Fest TUR EZAs, sometimes they can be challenging, but, like, these ones where it's just, like, like the Battle of Gods EZA and the Peppy Gals EZAs and stuff like that, these ones typically do go down pretty easy, right? So, only the two characters are EZAing from this, the Trunks and Mai, as well as the TEQ Future Gohan. At the bare minimum, I do think that this batch of, sort of, like, sub-EZA characters, I think it is pretty good, right? Like, certainly we've seen just way worse. You look at Saiyan Day, some of the character EZAs we got during Saiyan Day, like, it was just, like, unbelievable. Like, how just ass a lot of those characters were. At least this batch, right, we're getting characters who are getting, like, dodge and damage reduction type abilities, which can be good. Now, there's 4 EZA characters. 2 of them, we're essentially grinding this EZA to get right now. And then there's also Int Zamasu and STR Rage Trunks. But they're sub-EZAs. Straight from the TEQ Vegito Blue and STR Rose events. We do have to actually grind up their medals, like typical sort of sub-EZA kind of like grinds. Lately, right, like they did drop those missions where it's like we would do the main EZA and then we get the medals to actually EZA the sub-EZA characters. But the thing is that the Int Zamasu and STR Trunks, they're not EZAing from this event, right? So that's kind of like, I guess, sort of like the reason there. Alright, we'll just do this. We should easily be able to just completely juice this Trunks and Mai right here. Remember that this Trunks and Mai is a character that does have an active skill, by the way. So, that's definitely something that's going to be interesting to see. I remember this character, this Trunks and Mai, they were very helpful back in the day for, like, Future Saga Super Battle Road, right? I remember that stage being, like, fairly annoying and or difficult. And then, these guys with the Mafuba, which they're able to do on turn 3, right? Remember, it would guaranteed stun and stuff like that. So, there was definitely some real strength that you could get using that Mafuba. So that's pretty good. And then, of course, we also have the TEQ Future Gohan. Now, TEQ Future Gohan, I would say I was actually kind of blown away when I read his details. Because, I mean, dude, his pre-EZA passive is 70% attack and defense when HP is 80% or less. That's his pre-EZA passive. It's just crazy. He had nothing because this guy originally came out. I mean, when did TEQ Future Gohan originally come out? I'm curious. So TEQ Future Gohan came out on February 19th of 2016 is when TEQ Future Gohan originally came out. That's before I even was playing Dokkan. That predates that. And then his actual awakening, September 7th, 2016. That's right around when I actually started playing, right? So this is a character that is now 7 years old. 7. And he's finally getting his EZA. So it's like you look at everything he gets, right? And they gave him support. They gave him dodging. It is unfortunate. I know, people really, people are, I want to say people are simple, but I don't mean it as an insult. I truly don't, right? But people are, it's very basic. They like to, take one of these big, strong characters into a fight, and they want to see them, put up big-ass stats, right? People want to go in, use one of these powerful characters, go into an event, and then ooga booga huge, LR Jiren, back, when he was first new, huge numbers, and people just go, wow-wee, right? Typically, when I see someone be like, oh my god, this character is so good, they're showing, a screenshot of, their attack stat, right? I'm not really usually seeing someone be like, oh my god, they're so crazy, and it's them eating, I don't know, 50k from a super... Oh, a dodge! Super attack dodge, we love that. But it's not typically like them, just, eating 50k from, a big super or something like that. So, I know that people, don't like it. I've seen a lot of people upset that nowadays, for a character to be, truly good, they basically have to have dodge, guard, or damage reduction. They gotta have one of the three. The characters that are oh my god, super crazy, that have none, is Piccolo Jr. And is that it? Actually, within the top 50 characters, is there another character besides Piccolo Jr. who doesn't have guard, damage reduction, or dodge? Because Bulma's got them, the Blue Vegito does, 23rd World Tournament Goku does, obviously got Goku, Kale does as well. It's I'm just in my head just trying to, think about it, and it's all of these characters just have it, you have to, with how strong they made the bosses. They made these bosses, another super attack dodge, hello! My. We love that. We love seeing those. Obviously, yeah, this, it's not like, oh my god, we dodged a super, we win now, right? This is a pretty easy, so it's not gonna, cause us to win. But hey, for every super attack by this weak EZA, we could just pretend that was, I don't know, a super attack from Omega in the Shadow Dragon event, right? Very simple. We just dodged an Omega super, yeah! But, that's one really good thing that happened with all these sub-EZAs, right? Is that, the Trunks and Mai, in Zamasu, and STR Trunks, they all have damage reduction. Some, varying levels of damage reduction. And then the TEQ Future Gohan, they gave him dodge. This is so good, right? So, Future Gohan has a high chance to dodge, and launches an additional attack that has a medium chance of being a super if there's an Android or Future Saga category enemy. That is that's exactly that. That's why I like sub EZAs and free-to-play characters do not need to suck. They could just do stuff like that. So Future Gohan, there's only 2 category of enemy you could use them, and he's going to be really effective. Again, Android and Future Saga. But that's awesome. As a sub EZA character, we could just use him against those enemies and he can be competitive. That, I think, is how they can make, again, free-to-play characters and sub-EZAs actually decent. Is you can give them those same strong abilities, but you could just restrict them like that. I got no problem with that. I would prefer if, the new shiny Dokkan Fest LR or Dokkan Fest TUR, I think Carnival LR Future Gohan's a good example of this. He has all of his power is pretty much unrestricted. LR Future Gohan. Right, now what I mean by that is we can take him against any enemy, LR Future Gohan, and we could take him on any team, and the lion's share, all of his power is completely available to him. On any category, on any team against any enemy, which is really awesome. But he's a Carnival LR, so I would want that. Free-to-play and sub EZAs, they can restrict them. I got no issue with that to make them good, right? You know, the next sub EZA, like Bardock and Gine are going to be an EZA character. You know, make them be restricted to the Goku family team. Like, you know, full rotation of Goku family characters, and they give, you know, 3 key, 50% attack and defense, and they have a 50% chance to dodge. Bam. There you go. W. That's the type of thing we would want for a character like that, right? But there we go. There is this EZA, the Trunks and Mai, and the TEQ Future Gohan EZA. I'll get these characters EZA'd, and we will get into these showcases. I think a lot of them should be decent or mid, somewhere around there. People still don't really understand so much what mid means. It's just middle. Like, they're not good, they're not bad. That's probably what most of these EZAs are, but certainly you could probably use a lot of them as kind of like your 6th option on the team, and I think that they actually can be at least effective, so that will be good. So let me know what you guys think of the future Saga EZA event. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.